Afternoon to you. I'm Dave Zavolinsky coming to you live from our Alert Center. We're about 90 minutes away from kickoff between the Huskers and the Utah Utes in the Las Vegas Bowl. The gates are officially open for Husker fans to make their way inside Allegiant Stadium in Las Vegas. The team is already on the field, and so is First Alert 6 Sports Director Clayton Collier. He joins me now live from the field of Allegiant Stadium. Clayton, good afternoon. You've been on the ground in Las Vegas for the last couple of days or so. Let's set the stage here. What's the mood amongst Husker Nation? It's been a month since we've seen the team play. They're entering today's bowl game on a 2-game losing streak. For those that don't know, there are a lot of festivities in and around bowl games, and there was a big pep rally last night. What's the mood amongst Husker Nation as we're 90 minutes away from kickoff?
Hey Dave, yeah, we're happy to be out here in Las Vegas for the Las Vegas Bowl. Nebraska taking on number 15 Utah. A huge challenge. We're going to be talking about that, as you mentioned. Ton of events throughout the week. They've been on Fremont Street. They were at the Bellagio. The pep rally last night again on Fremont Street. We saw Matt Rule on a zip line earlier in the week. We saw Herbie Husker on the zip line last night across Fremont Street as well. So they have gotten the full Vegas experience. But as far as the game now, this is where it all gets very real. The Huskers coming off of those two tough losses at Penn State, at home against Iowa as well, left a sour taste in the mouth of this team and a lot of Husker fans. A chance to end it on a high note here, but a very tough challenge for the 15th ranked Utes. As we've talked about for a long time, the Huskers have not beaten a ranked opponent since 2016, 29 straight tries, 29 straight losses for the Huskers against ranked opponents. And Utah is no slouch at all. We'll get to that as well. High-powered offensive team. But going into this, I think the fans, the team knows that they are coming in as the underdog. They are the 14-point dogs to Utah, but it's something they're embracing, Dave. And I believe we have that clip from Matt Rule talking about them being, not only embracing an underdog mentality, but looking to another Nebraskan, an Omaha native, Bud Crawford, who came into Vegas 3 months ago as an underdog with a championship on the line and came out of this as a 3-time undisputed champ. Here's what Matt Rule had to say about that.
The willingness to put your name out there, the willingness to be laughed at, the willingness to step out into the arena and hopefully win and maybe fail is something I take from Bud Crawford all the time.
Because I feel like I've been an underdog my whole life, so there's really nothing new for me. We're not a team composed of a bunch of 5-stars, right? And we know that. And, that's the chip we carry with us on our shoulder.
We can say who's an underdog or who's not, but I don't think that really has any bearing on how we feel.
We're not going to take the field, walking on the field like underdogs. We might stroll out there with the belief in ourselves that Bud has. And you need great opponents to do that. Bud needed to fight a great opponent. We need to play against a great football team, the number 15 team in the country. And it's only in those moments that you find if you really are who you say you are. Do you really believe in yourself when no one else believes in you?
And that's really the key, right, Dave? The belief in yourself. You have to see how this team has progressed over the last month. A lot to improve on after that loss to Iowa. They don't have Emmett Johnson to that as well. A lot has changed for the Huskers, but can they put it all together here against a ranked opponent? They talking to see progress in year 3 under Matt Rule. What better way than to top the number 15 team in the country on New Year's Eve and walk away as back-to-back bowl win seasons for the first time since 2008-2000.
Yeah, Clayton, no doubt Emmett Johnson, the MVP of this team, led the team in some fantastic games. He had a great game against Iowa, but clearly it will not be on the field today. Just how big of a loss is that from the Husker rushing attack against the Utes this afternoon?
Yeah, Emmett Johnson opting out of this bowl game. We actually did see him. He is here with the team, with running backs coach E.J. Barthel. So he is here for more, as we've seen some of the other Huskers that are out. We saw Deshaun Singleton, Desan McCullough, guys out with injuries. Rocco Spindler also out. The transfer from Notre Dame out. He had battled through all year long. So a lot of changes for the Huskers. And of course, Dave, we mentioned that Dylan Raiola will not be here as well. He was obviously out for December 2nd, but nonetheless, the Huskers going in without their starting quarterback, running back, and a number of defensive and offensive starter for this. So a lot on paper going against the Huskers when you have a ranked opponent. Like I said, this is the opportunity to show in the last month, what does this depth look like moving forward, and how do they perform at NFL Stadium against a team like Utah?
Yeah, what's the status? I know he was banged up at the end of the year. We expect him to go today, correct?
We do. I saw him out there. Matt Rule, as long as they expect him to be good to go. He said yesterday 100% good to go. I just saw him over here. Did not look like he had any limitation. They really need that dual threat ability from him, and they will certainly see an opportunity for TJ. As the Huskers look January 2nd open, they've said they've been very transparent that they will be active. It gets an opportunity to try to get a leg up in that competition starting right now. Terrific performance against Utah.
Clayton, what about the coaches? I know there's been some notable offseason changes. Donovan Raiola no longer with the program as offensive line coach. Of course, he is the uncle of Dylan Raiola. There are some other new coaches. Are they in play today? Will they be there? What kind of role do we expect for them to have?
Yeah, well, Rob Orich, the new defensive coordinator, is here, but Phil Snow is named the interim DC going into the bowl game after they let John Butler go. So he will be the DC for this game. Rob Orich kind of in a supporting role for this before he fully takes over, but also G. Wade taking over the offensive line. The defensive line has been by committee. We kind of talked about that at midday today. That has been a struggle for Nebraska throughout the season, the rushing defense, and today they face one of the best running teams in college football. Utah averages 270 rushing yards per game. That's one of the best in the country. So this is a major test for this defensive line that really has caught a lot of flack throughout the year. There's been some ugly performances. There's been some, high highs for this defensive line throughout the year, but they let go of Terry Braden. And over the last month, Dave, it's been a committee. They haven't named a defensive line coach just yet, but you've seen Mike Eckler getting involved, Phil Simpson getting involved, and most interestingly, it's been Matt Rule. As we know, defensive line, that is roots, that's his origin as a head coach. So he's been getting back to that over the last month, jumping in. And he's also had this double personality. His hat's forward, he's Coach Rule. His hat's backwards, he's Matt, the defensive line coach. And that's what he's been telling his guys. He wants them to call him Matt. I believe Riley Van Poppel a couple weeks ago, he said, hey, Coach, can you just hire yourself as the defensive line coach? Well, if he could clone himself, maybe it would work out, but I think that might be a little too difficult. But nonetheless, we'll see if Matt Rule's involvement in the D-line bears fruit today.
Yeah, that'll be interesting to watch over the next 3 or 4 hours or so. Let's focus on the opponent for a sec here. A couple of weeks ago, Utah head coach Kyle Whittingham said he would be stepping down after 21 seasons at the helm there. He was the second longest tenured coach in college football, only behind Iowa's Kirk Ferentz. It looked like the Huskers might be running into a brick wall as the Utes would be playing for their coach, trying to send him out on top. But then, as has been the case in college football, turmoil hits the Utah program, and Kyle Whittingham is now the head coach at Michigan. What do we expect to have kind of an impact on today's game, Clayton?
Yeah, I think either team can play it however they want. I think when it was Whittingham, for the Huskers, it was, man, we're going to get them, going out for his last game. But you'd easily flip that and say, hey, they're going to be energized for Morgan Scalley as a Utah lifer. It's his first game as the new head coach. So I think that's just kind of narratives that either team will try to use to their advantage. I don't really know if it swings one way or the other. It was Whittingham's final game. I would have said, yeah, that doesn't bode well for Nebraska. Now I think it's kind of just whatever you make of it. But you look at it all time, Nebraska has never lost to Utah. They met 4 times. I believe it was 1968. Last meeting was 92. And the Huskers have come out on top all 4 times in their history. And Morgan Scalley brought that up at the news conference yesterday. He said, that's our gauntlet, that's our challenge. They want to beat Nebraska for the first time. So if that energizes them, sure, it's all poster board material, Dave.
It certainly is. Okay, Utah is ranked 15th in the country. We certainly know what it means for the Huskers when they're playing an opponent with a ranked number next to their team name. Just another chance to end the streak here today, although it is going to be tough as Vegas is putting them as a 14-point underdog, Clayton.
They are, and you know, Dave, I think we also did consult an expert yesterday, if you want to bring that in. You know, we've heard a lot of these odds makers say that, you know, the Huskers don't have a chance, that they're deep underdogs. Well, I found somebody on the Las Vegas Strip, right at the Las Vegas welcome sign, in fact, who says, "Go Big Red." Let's bring in our resident expert, Elvis Presley. How you doing today?
I'm doing well, baby. How are you?
Well, I'd be a lot better if the Nebraska Cornhuskers come out with a win tomorrow. What do you see happening in this game?
Well, I think the odds makers are completely wrong, and Nebraska's going to win, baby.
Okay. Why do you say that?
Well, they got some great wide receivers, and I like their style. And as the king of rock and roll, believe me, no style, baby.
Elvis, thank you very much.
Oh, thank you very much.
I'm curious, Clayton, only Elvis impersonator you've seen since you've been to Vegas?
That is the only Elvis impersonator. He was officiating a wedding, and then I stopped him. I said, "Hey, I'm about to be live in 10 minutes. Do you think that you could come on with me?" And he said, "Well, I got a wedding in about half an hour. I got another one to officiate, but I could do something real quick." So he went and did that. So, you know, only in Vegas, I have to say, I'm at the Las Vegas welcome sign, and Elvis Presley walks up. Fantastic to see. But, you know, honestly, Elvis Presley asterisk's opinion is probably just about as good as any odds makers here. You never know what's going to happen, especially after a bowl season when you have turnover, when you have a month of bowl prep. We really don't know. You know, on paper, it does go towards Utah's way. But what I'm most interested to see, Dave, is what the Huskers running back room produces today. We talked about earlier, Emmett Johnson, one of the best in All-American for the Huskers. They're without him today. That running back room, they really struggled to establish a second back all season. You have Mekhi Nelson, you have Isaiah Mosey, Quentin Ives, Kenneth Williams, all these guys in this room that have been battling over the last month in the pecking order. Now, on the depth chart, you see Mekhi Nelson, Isaiah Mosey is the or and the one. I'm interested to see how these guys show up. You know, we talked about with TJ Lateef, this is an opportunity for him. You have to believe that they're going to be looking in the portal at running back as well. What does Mekhi Nelson, that one I'm really interested to see show up here. He had a certain look in his eyes when he was walking in here. He looked ready to go. I'm excited to see how he performs. If there's anything you can knock Utah on, they have been a little leaky at rushing defense as well. So is there an opportunity if the Huskers are really, you know, clicking on the ground?
Yeah, you got to jumpstart there. My last question as we wrap up this pregame special. Any other final keys that you were looking for when they take the field here a little more than an hour from now?
Well, Dave, it is New Year's Eve.
It is.
I have to say, the only ball that the Huskers should see drop today is in New York City. They have to take care of the ball today, prevent the turnovers. That'll be key when you're facing a number 15 team.
I couldn't agree more. Nice little pun there on this New Year's Eve. Clayton, enjoy the game. We'll look forward to all of your post-game coverage right after the game tonight, all throughout the evening, leading up to the end of 2025. That's Clayton Collier live from Las Vegas this afternoon. I'm Dave Zavolinsky live in Omaha. Thanks for tuning in to our pregame special. Enjoy the game.